All right, we are live.
Yes.
Today I have my mom on here with me, so I'm super excited about it. People told me to share stuff, so that's what I'm gonna do. Just waiting a little bit here. Share. How is everybody doing? It's Friday. I'm here with my mom. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. I'm in Chicago. So I thought that I would have my mom on my live today. So what's happening? It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Mom, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, everybody pretty much know who I am that don't know who I am. I am Renita's mom. It is Mother's Day weekend. We've had a rough few days as my mom, her grandma, made her transition on April 28th. And she left us. She was a strong black woman and she left strong black women to carry on. You know, it's me and my daughter Nita, my daughter Kristen, and nieces, and just other women in my family. You know, she's taught us how to do this thing. So we not gonna, lay down to it because she's in a better place. And she was 99, and we had the services, which on her birthday, which she would have been 100. So here's to 100 years,
100 years
of being on this earth, and
yes.
Making and molding us into the women that we aspire to be. And so we're just going to go forth and fulfill the legacy of Mrs. Florence Adams. We're going to fulfill her legacy because she has trained us well. So now it's time to get to work.
Yes, so hence the live, because I didn't know we were gonna have a live.
No, she
till last minute. I thought we were, and then I was like, oh, maybe she changed her mind. So, I didn't prepare, but my mother did. So, go ahead, Mom. This is your corner. This is your space. Go ahead.
Well, being in Mother's Day, and this is our first Mother's Day without my mom. We're reflecting on, I'm going to reflect on something my mother always told me, and I tried to instill it in my girls. My mom always told me, whatever I do in life, to be the best that I can be. And I've always instilled that in Nita and Chris, to be the best that you can be. If you're going to be a street cleaner, be the best street cleaner. If you're going to be an executive, you're going to be a CEO of a company, be the best. Whatever you do, be the best at what you are the best at. And Renita's platform, the name Be Your Own Kind, I found a quote because I have a library of quotes in my phone. And the one I chose to lead off with is, I'm different, always have been. It took a little while, but I have accepted that I am magic, not meant for everyone to understand. So they question, that's okay. I will stay in my lane, being all magical and stuff. So I don't know if anybody want to comment on that. Be your own kind, meaning being different and unique in your own way. You know what I'm saying? Not worrying about being different, because we all are unique in our own sense. So if anybody wants to be all magical and stuff, that's it's your magical stuff.
Yeah, also, you can't join our live. I have the link in the comments. If you want to hit the comments, you can actually join the live and talk with us if you want to, and share your thoughts and your ideas. Kristen says, yes, staying true to yourself. I mean, once you learn who you are, embrace it. What I've learned during these last couple of weeks is life is short. Even when grandma was 99, even at 99, life is short. Yes. I'm sure there are things that she still wanted to do, and although we're a little limited with the traveling, we're not limited with a lot of other stuff. I know people that are starting businesses, people that are getting their affairs in order as far as like what they're going to do when they're leaving. People are saving so that they can travel for next year. So this is the time that to just, once again, I think I've said this, dust off your bucket list and just get going and keep moving, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, entrepreneurs are being born out of this pandemic. People are looking at corporate like, I'm not sure. So, because they're working at home, and working at home is showing them that they can, the same thing they're doing for other people, they can do it for themselves. So, it's transitioning us into the new world, because things are not going to go back to how they used to be. We now are going to have a new norm. There's no such thing as it turning back into normal. This is our new norm, and so we have to adjust to this new norm. Um, I mean, fulfill your dreams. Like she said, save money for travel. I mean, get to know people that love you, your kids, your grandchildren, your siblings, get to bond with your friends, and, get to know who's who. This pandemic has showed me who's who. Losing my mom has showed me who's who and who's not. So, I mean, and to their own self, be true. So, this pandemic is forcing us to be true to ourselves, and it is forcing us to get a closer walk with God, and it is forcing us to be all that we can be without all the extra stuff that we have put around us as escapes. We can't escape ourselves anymore because we now have to be with ourselves.
Yes. Hey, Cynthia.
Hey.
Hi, and then we have Rolanda. Welcome to the live, everyone.
Hey.
We have Rolanda saying, yes, believe in your dreams. Right. Believe in them. If you don't believe in you, don't count on people to believe in you. I know that's a pretty straightforward thing, but no one should ever believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Even before it even happens, you just speak in fruition. Yes, I am. Yes, I own this bakery, and you probably don't even know anything about baking. But I always joke with my sister. I go to YouTube University. Anything that I need to learn to do, and with practice, you can do anything.
Yes.
So believe so much in your dream that everyone else can believe it. Like I believe that's how Lil Wayne ended up being the greatest rapper alive, because he kept saying it, and I saw on an interview where he said, of course I'm going to say I'm the best rapper alive, and every other rapper should say that too. If you believe you're the best and you feel it, everyone else will believe you too. It's all about confidence. People are attracted to your confidence. If you're unsure about what you want to do and your abilities, everyone else is like, I don't know. So you have confidence in yourself, so.
And talent is not outward. Talent is what's within coming out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People put too much emphasis on the physical instead of what's the inner talents that you project out.
Right, exactly. And you can do anything with practice.
With anything with practice.
Yeah. What's your next quote, Mom?
My next quote is what I've also learned a few weeks. When people sleep on you, let them get their rest.
I like that quote.
When they sleep on you, let them get to rest. Why are you just like using so much energy when people sleep on you? Just let them get their rest. Because if you're working toward goals and aspirations, and you don't have time to worry about who's sleeping on you, who's there for you, be there for yourself. If you be there for yourself, either they'll follow or they don't. But don't spend all that time on the sleepers. Don't do that. Let them get their rest. They're tired. So let them sleep. And you move on and be the best that you can be. We waste too much time worrying about people and their ideas and their thoughts of us.
All right. And then Rolanda says, yes, I love Dada. Yes, I love seeing these lives on my timeline. Thank you, Dada.
Hey, Dada.
And Kristen says, I like that quote, Mama. Let them sleep on you, because once they wake up, it's too late.
It's too late. It's too late.
Right. But when you have so much confidence in yourself, you don't really pay attention to who believes in you or not, because you believe in you. You rooted your belief in yourself, so you're not worried about anyone else. So remember that quote I told you, where it's none of my business what you think of me.
Right.
It's none of my business. So I'm not worried about what you think of me. I'm not worried if you like me. I'm not worried about that. Either you rock with me or you don't. But I'm not going to sit and spend my time worried about you not liking me or not liking my choices and my decisions. You know, if you rock with me, you rock with me. If you don't, you don't. It's black or white. It's pretty, you know, straightforward.
Chris teaches us that all the time. We have the problem with that. Kristen doesn't have a problem with that.
Right. I shouldn't have to beg you to be my friend. I shouldn't have to worry that when I give you information that is going to go to someone else. I shouldn't worry about that. You know, if I'm not in a safe space and I next thing I know, someone's calling me about my business and I didn't tell them about my business and I know exactly who I told.
Exactly.
Then no, you don't need to be in my circle. Like I think I'm veering off, but yeah. So
Thanks, Chris.
Yes, Donna says yes. I love that, Auntie.
Hey,
yes, and Kristen says I love that quote, Mom. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going backwards. Hey, Morgan, how are you doing? Thanks for joining the live. Rolanda said they gonna be mad when you come up on top.
Exactly, Dada.
Right, and I don't even understand things like that. I don't understand hate. I don't understand jealousy. I mean, to a certain extent, oh, I wish I was 120 pounds. Yeah, but to the point of people like it's a competition, you know, like it's not enough money out here, like it's not enough opportunities for everybody, you know. And I feel like that energy should be better spent on your own dreams. You know, you're sitting there watching everyone else when you could be working on your own dreams. And I always tell people there is nothing that you have that someone has that you can't get yourself.
You can't.
If you put the same work, the same energy into that, what that person did, you can get the same thing too. God does not, he's not a respecter of persons with blessings. If you put in the same effort, you know, and I have my cousin told me, don't be mad when harvest season come and you haven't reaped anything because you didn't sow. So if you're not sowing anything, why do you expect to reap something? You know what I'm saying? So while you're spending your energy comparing yourself and being in this pretend competition, because 9 out of 10, the other person doesn't know, you could be sowing into your own life, you know,
own business,
and using that energy there. Because here's the thing, somebody might have a house on a hill, but we don't know how they got it. We don't know the avenues that they went. You know, I don't want a BMW. I don't want to pay for the gas. Like, I don't, you know, like, I just feel like we can all stay in our lane and we can all get it together. Like, I just don't understand competition.
Right.
And I never have, you know.
Like this pandemic is showing people are, yes, real women empower each other. Exactly.
Right.
This pandemic, people are, simple things is making masks. You know, these people had to blow off their sewing machines or whatever and say, hey, you know, people have forgotten their talents because they've been so caught up getting up in the morning, going to work, fulfilling somebody else's dreams. But by working at home and then getting that little quiet time afterwards and just being in your own space, you know, everything comes to full fruition. You're like, oh, wow, my favorite color is red. You know, simple things like that. Oh, I like cooking bacon. I like eating bacon. You know, just like simple things like, you know, that you won't think about because you've been so busy. It's like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to make this deadline. But now that you don't have any deadlines, you can just come back to who you are. And that's what God wants us to do anyway.
Right.
Be true to ourselves.
Exactly. Morgan says real women empower each other. Yes, we're supposed to. It's so many of us. Why not?
Why hate?
I just don't understand that. It's so many opportunities out in the world for everybody to be great.
Yes,
it is.
Chris. Yes.
It is. You know, you just have to put in the effort.
Put in the time.
And no, it's not easy, but it's probable. You know? And I don't say, yep, they don't like seeing other people doing better than them. But that's the thing. Better. Why is there a better than?
Yes.
That's what I don't understand. Why is there a better than? Why can't you be sharp? And I like that you sharp.
Exactly. Why can't I give you a compliment?
Right.
Why can't I say, hey, Nita, you look nice. Hey, Chris, Dada. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have that problem. But I'm saying, some people have a problem. They'll look at you and you know you're looking cute. And you be like, they didn't even. Like, oh, okay, I see you.
Right, and I'm bold to say where you get that from. Right. And you might see me wearing that dress in a couple of weeks. Like,
I will say that. Where'd you get it? I'll go get it in another color.
Right. The store didn't limit it to them.
Right.
so I just don't get competition. And Kristen agreed with without they show don't die. They don't. And I probably will never get competition. Haters. I just won't.
Yeah.
You want to go to your next quote?
My next quote is, sometimes you have to do what's best for you in your life, not what's best for everybody else. Spend
Hmm.
too much time trying to please everybody else. First, please God. Okay, love yourself. You know what I'm saying? We spend too much time worrying about what people thinking about what we do. We only have one life to live. Why waste it worrying about what somebody else care about or saying about what you're doing?
Right.
Live the best life you can live. We all come from different foundations, different raising. All our parents may have raised us with the same concepts, but they were different people. So that means it's a difference, even with the same concept. So stop worrying so much about what people thinking about what you're doing. Live your best life.
You
Living
only
your
get
best
one.
life. You only get one.
She says, yes, Auntie, I had to learn
I
that.
know, Dada.
And what made you come to that realization, Dada? Yes, and anyone want to share in the comments, you don't have to come on the live if you don't want to, but if you want to share in the comments, what was your aha moment when you realized that you didn't have to live by anyone else's standards or opinions and you just wanted to take your own road? Like what was that moment for you? And while we wait on that, Mom has like a plethora of quotes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Kristen said something. She says, you're right, Mom, because whether you're doing good or bad, people are always going to have something. Man, it don't matter.
Chris, it don't matter.
It don't matter. You straighten your hair, why is it so straight? You curl your hair, why aren't you straightening it? Like it's always something. Somebody always have something to say when you had your kids. And I'm wondering, was it because now you knew that you had people looking up to you?
Yes.
So you had to learn to stand on your own to exemplify that, so that they can learn to stand on their own as well. Dada, that's a good one.
Yeah, that goes into my next quote, Dada. My next quote is, I used to be so afraid of losing people until I realized most of them were never really down for me in the first place. Even though my loyalty and love for them ran deep, they could care less. I mean, simply care less. So instead of being afraid of losing them, I fell back and watched them lose me. Lose me. Yeah. I'm so worried busy about losing people till I lost myself. So once you find yourself, you don't worry about, just don't lose yourself. You can lose people, but don't lose yourself. That's what this quote means to me. Don't worry about that. Just don't lose yourself. It's all right to lose people. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, loss sucks, but if that person is not sharpening you anymore.
I mean, hey, 3 times divorce, go figure. But I'm just as an example. I mean, you have to know your own worth. Just don't lose yourself. Because when you look around, you will be if you lose yourself, you end up just being just this person that is existing and not living. You want to live. You don't just want to live this life and exist. This pandemic has taught me that too. It is time for us to live. It's time for us to live. It is time for us to grow. It's time for us to flourish. It is time for us to be the best that God wants us to be. And He had to take everything away from us for us to see that. He had to take everything, all our distractions He has taken away from us. Why? So that we can see us and be our best us.
And Kristen says, when you lose yourself, you lose everything.
Everything, Chris.
And a minister once told me, you're fighting with yourself or you're trying to separate from yourself, but no matter where you go, you're with you. So you need to learn to get along with you. You need to learn to embrace you, because no matter, you can run from everything and everybody, but you cannot run from you. You are with you all the time. So you're right. If you lose yourself,
you don't have nothing.
No, now you're just a shell. So
yeah.
that's great. Yeah. Hey Amber, this is my other sister, y'all.
Hey, hey.
I have a question for you. What was your pivotal moment to when you discovered your worth?
Oh wow. I really don't know. It was several times, but in your quiet moments when you're there by yourself, you're there by yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was a lot of things made me come to myself. Losing my mom right now is really bringing me full circle, because when you look around and all the things that you thought were so important or whatever, they're really not. And even before losing my mom, it's like you just look. We waste so much time on things that are just
Don't matter.
It just don't matter.
Right.
Family matters, loving on one another, feeling each other's hurts and being there for one another. That's what's important. You could be selfish, but it has to be a healthy selfish. Being selfish enough to not give your all and hold something for yourself. That kind of selfish, but not the selfish where it's just about you and no one else. And when I came to that understanding, that was a pivotal point in me turning to try to change my behaviors, because some behaviors are just learned behaviors and some are just behaviors that you just repeat and they become repetitive, and then you don't even realize the difference in the right and wrong of them until you sit down and see how they affect you and how they affect everyone around you.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Morgan says yes. Wherever you go, there you are.
There you are.
That's a fact.
I mean, hey.
So the whole term running from myself, you're not. You're actually running with yourself.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Right. So it's hard to ignore you because you're with you all the time. So yeah. Your next quote?
When you finally learn that a person's behavior has more to do with their own internal struggle than it ever did with you, you learn grace.
Empathy.
We so busy saying, why she do that? Or why he do that? Or why they acted like that? Or why they acted like that? Everyone has their own struggles, and everyone acts out on their struggles. So you have to have grace, like people have grace with you. You have to know that none of us are perfect. We all come from different places. We all have different struggles, and everyone doesn't deal with their struggles like you think they should, because it's their struggle. Like your struggles are your struggles. So, ease up. That's why the Bible says, in the Bible it says, judge ye not. You can't judge another person because you don't really know what they're going through. You don't know their internal struggles. You only see the outer man, like what we all show person, the outer man. God sees the inner man. So learn a little grace with people and try to give them some slack. And that's I'm in school for that right now.
Yeah,
I'm in school.
And I mean, you want grace, like you just said.
Yeah, I want grace. So
you want people to understand your triggers and your background. And sometimes when I've talked to people and they've given me a little bit of their childhood, it helped me understand why they are a certain way or why they react a certain way. It actually helped me to understand them. So you never know what a person has been through. Some people have some really like deep stories, and just the fact that they come out smiling and come out every day and they're fine is a blessing. So why not be nice? Because you never know, your hug, your kind word, your smile can make their day. I read all the time about people who were about to end their life and someone called them, knocked on their door, and just in that second, what if that person didn't follow that first mind, the Holy Spirit, and and it would have went another way. So it's kindness is free. It doesn't take much energy to be kind. So yeah, I like that quote. Kristen says empathy is so important in this thing we call life. Okay, Prince.
You're right though, Chris. She's
right, yeah.
It is,
And my worst saying is, well, if I was you, I wouldn't have did that.
Yeah, how you know you ain't me?
Well, you're not me. And we say a lot of things we're not gonna do until we're in that situation. You can guess and hypothesize as much as you want, but when you're in that situation, you don't know how you're gonna react in that situation. You don't know until you're in that situation. So
thanks, Chris. That is so true.
Yeah. Any more quotes, mommy?
The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find.
I love that. And I don't know if Jacinthia is still on here, but we had a conversation yesterday, kind of saying that, like, when we were discovering ourselves, we realized that there were things we didn't like, but we also learned that we weren't all bad.
Right.
There are good things about us too that we discover. It's not all self-discovery is not about just thoroughly searching your flaws. Self-discovery is simply that, discovering yourself, your goods, your bads, your weaknesses, your strengths.
Right. We limit ourselves.
Yeah.
My hurdle, and that my girls help me with, is not being so hard on myself of past decisions, past just the past. And your past inhibits your present and your future if you don't let it go. You have to let go. What's done is done. You can't go back and recreate anything. I can't be born again. I'm 60 years old. I can only be born again in the Lord. But physically, I can't be born again. I'm 60 years old. I can't jump back in my mom's womb, whether she was here or not. I can't jump back and start this thing all over again. You know, the born again is in the Lord now. It's not in the physical. So, stop being so hard on yourself. Yeah, you made a bad decision. Yeah, you made a bad choice. Ask God to, turn around or show you how to get out of it, or show you how to do better, or show you how to go, show you how to use that, to get to where you need to be. But stop beating up on yourself. Life beats up on us enough.
Man.
We don't need to beat up on ourselves. We don't need those extra blows and black eyes. We blacken our eyes enough ourselves.
You're right. I'm super guilty of that.
Yes.
So sometimes you have to put yourself in people's shoes. That's right.
Yes, Chris.
We complain about things that people pray for, that people wish for. Just the use of your arms and your legs. Some people wish they just simply, things we take for granted are just little, is huge to someone else, And I think that is the definition of empathy. Being okay with you are a prime example. Be your own kind. Exactly. That's why I started this. We being comfortable in your own skin. Hey, Carrie, how are you doing? I miss you too. This is my coworker.
Hi, Carrie.
Haven't seen her since March, thanks to COVID.
I know.
I miss you too. You have any more quotes?
Oh, girl. So much of our happiness depends on how we choose to look at the world.
Perspective. So would you say that happiness is subjective or objective?
It could be both. It depends on how you look at it. It goes back to that old familiar quote. You can look at the glass as half empty or half full. So if you're an objective person, you're gonna look at it objectively. And if you process things subjectively, you may look at it subjectively, or it may be a mixture of both. It all depends on what space you're in. A lot of things, how we process and look at things, a lot of times depends on the space you're in. Sometimes you're in a certain space in your life. Things are going on, and you may look at it subjective in May, and in July you may look at it as objective. It all depends on what space you're in. But consistency is what you're trying to get to. You're trying to get to some consistency.
So how I think about happiness is, okay, we're sitting here in this chair.
Yeah.
And the roof can come caving down, or the roof can be up. It's sunny, or it rains on us, or someone can throw, like you say, throw stones, and I can get a black eye. Even with all of this going on, life kicking me down or helping me up, my state doesn't change. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, if a person is that type of way, would it mean that their happiness is rooted in faith? Rooted in God, where it's unshakable, like it doesn't matter what get thrown my way. I know that I'm protected. I know that I'm shielded and supported. So I'm going to stay happy anyway, because I know that it's only temporary. Like when you get older, is that, because I always admire people older than me, like 50s and 60s, because life really be happening and y'all just be whistling through it. And then us younger people be like, ah!
Well, I used to be the younger person and feel the same way. But as you get older, it's like, hey, life happens. Life happens. Things happen, and you have to keep it moving. You have to go with the flow of life. You can't let circumstances and situations. It's like now. We're mourning. We're grieving. We could have just stayed in the bed today and but we're here on this live because we're here. Yeah. You got to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So life teaches you, life teaches you to, you can't change things that have happened. You have to take them and make every negative a positive. But that only comes through prayer. We of ourselves can do nothing. Let's get that understanding. We of ourselves can do nothing. My mother and my pastor taught me the power of prayer. You can't go or do nothing in this world unless you pray about it first. Once you don't follow that first man and start going on your own understanding and your own volition, what you think it should be, and that's when you error. Take a step back. Even with your goals in life, God, is this your will for my life? God, is this what you want me to do? God, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And that still is not going to make it all perfect, but at least, you have consulted to get some kind of direction for him to order your steps.
So are you saying the older you get and the more you experience and the more God bring you out, the more you lean on God? Is that what make you guys more steady?
I don't know, girl.
I admire y'all, man.
Growing on, you can't be no punk, baby. That's all I got to say. Mama taught me that, and she passed for good. You can't be no punk growing on, baby, because not only does your mind change, your body change, everything change. So you have to. I found out that I lean and depend more on God than I did ever before, because a lot of times, most of the time I just went off of what Sandra felt she wanted to do or what was going to be doing, and I ain't consult God till it hit the fan, and I'll be like, oh Jesus, help me, Lord, help me, Jesus.
That's my life.
So you know what I'm saying? That's all our life,
Yeah.
Because none of us are perfect. So we, young, old, we all gonna make mistakes, but just have sense enough to acknowledge that you made a mistake and ask for some help.
Right.
Ask the Lord to help you, because He is a forgiving and a loving God, and He looks beyond our faults and sees our needs. He just looks beyond all the stuff we take it so serious. He just saying, girl, just ask me for what you need. We're going through all them other changes. He looks for us to depend and lean on Him instead of, lean not to your own understanding, but
Amen.
Not your own understanding. That's going to take you left every time.
Say it, Mama.
Every time.
Say it, Mama. So Morgan wants to know, have you ever used the gratitude journal? I've written down what I was thankful for. I don't know if that that constitutes as a journal, but I do write to God, and in the beginning of any prayer, whether it's written or verbal or mental, I start off my prayers with thankfulness. Mom, you ever had a gratitude journal or?
Girl, I was too busy doing.
Well, now do you have one?
Put a pin in that. I don't have it written. I make notes in my phone now.
Okay.
Certain things I make notes in my phone, be it something positive or something I need to remember or something that I want to reflect back on.
Okay.
I just make a note, and it's not per se a journal. It's just a note. Hey, I want to say aha moment that I can reflect back on when I start going left to keep me going right. That's how I can put that.
Understandable. Morgan, do you have a gratitude journal? Amber just said, okay, Mama. And Amber says, trust the process. Yes.
Girl.
The strongest 3 words ever.
Girl, yeah, because I recently last year had a teeth journey, and oh baby, that taught me to trust the process. So I'm like, if I could trust that process, I could trust any process. You got to trust the process. Whatever it is you're going through in your life, you got to trust the process. If you don't trust the process, it's not going to be successful for you. You got to trust the process. It gets a little hard sometimes, but then you look at the end. Don't look at while you're going through it. Just look toward the end, knowing that the process is going to lead you to success.
Hey, Tanya. That's our cousin all the way from Toledo. What's your next quote? Oh, wait a minute. Morgan answered the question. She said she does not, but she thinks it's a good idea. It is a good idea. Yeah. Journaling is the most therapeutic thing that I've ever tried in my life. I have 50 million journals. You can ask Derek, but I don't have a gratitude one, so now I'm going to add to my list.
These quotes are my journal, I guess, because I got so many of them.
What's your next one, Mom?
My next quote is, don't forget you're human. It's okay to have a meltdown. Just don't live there. Cry it out, then refocus on where you're headed.
I think that goes for me today because I honestly, transparent moment, I didn't want to do the live. I was hoping that that the time would go by and it'll be over. Like, oh, I didn't do it. Or I was about to send a thing and say that I'm thinking of canceling it, and then my mom opens the bedroom doors and fully dressed, beautiful looking, and she like, oh, we got the live in an hour. And just getting up and fixing myself up to sit in her dining room, it actually helped me to feel better because I've been laying around. So she was like, we both been laying around. And she was like, why would we sit and just lay around? Let's do the live. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it. So thank you for that. You actually helped me not to just lie down today. So I thank you for this live.
Mama wouldn't want that.
No.
She ain't finna hurt me.
Kristen says it's always good to write things down.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. I always feel when you write it down on paper, it brings it to life.
Yeah.
I believe that since a teenager. I would write down my dreams, my aspirations, and it would happen just so like, oh, I'm going to get a 3.8 GPA. Then I got it. I'm going to save $100. And I had it. It's something about writing it down on paper that bring it to life. And it's like a constant reminder. Like I said, I have a million journals for different things, and I have an affirmation one, and just, I don't know, it just feel like it breathes life in things.
It breathes life. That's why people a lot of times put different quotes in the house. Like I in my pictures in my house, they all have different sayings. Mm-hmm. So when each room I go in, it reminds me of the journey I'm trying to travel. Mm-hmm. So I would say if you write it down, and my thing, I'm a visual person as well. So like in here, I have, today's little moments, and I read that: family, love, live, all of that. Because, sometimes, it all depends on what space you is. You can get a little, you be like, oh yeah, live, love, pray. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Tanya says, what a great support system. Yes. And during this time, I realized how, it's just people that I didn't, people just came from everywhere. Wow. And showered us with love. Yeah. You never know how big your support system is until you need it, right. And I don't know. You're right. A support system is, man.
I want to, my support system has been phenomenal.
Yes.
Renita, Chris, Derek, Nate, Donald, my church family. I could go. I have friends. I could go on and on and on. But my daughters, and they rose to the occasion and supporting me, and it was like love. It's like you see. I've already started seeing things differently through this pandemic, but during the pandemic, and then my mom died too. That was a little bit too much. I thought, but we made it through that. We trusted the process. Once again, going back to trusting the process, and it taught me that you don't have everything. Somebody else has a little bit of something. Somebody else has a little bit of something. When Mom first passed, we did a family Zoom.
It was so much fun.
And we had so much fun. We did a Zoom on top of a Zoom on top of a Zoom. We was just Zooming. So it's like the support. You're right. It's just great to have a good support. You, Tanya, all of our out of town family have been supporting us, and I couldn't ask for nothing more.
I just feel blessed. I feel so blessed. I do.
Yes.
Any more of them in your quote vault here?
Girl, don't play with me.
She gotta unlock.
Whoa,
iPhone really is locked. They brought about security. Android just lets you in there.
My next quote is, don't quit. Don't quit. Okay. So you've been married 5 times. Okay. So you started a business and it didn't go exactly like you want to. Okay. So, somebody hurt your little feelings. Okay. So you tried to cook this dish and it didn't come out like the recipe said. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't ever quit. As long as you have life in your body, you have a chance to get it right, to be all that you can be, to be successful, to love, to live, to care, to give. Don't quit.
I like that. I
Don't
have no
quit.
commentary. That was perfect.
Just don't ever quit. If a tiny virus can do this much damage, imagine what a mustard seed of faith can do. God is still on the throne. Don't focus on the virus. Focus on the cure. And it's not necessarily a physical cure. Focus on your cure. What are you going to take from this? What are you going to learn from this? God got us on lock and standstill for a purpose. Not just to watch Netflix movies, not just to, cook our favorite meals. He wants us to learn from this. And, the Bible says, if we humble ourselves, turn from our wicked ways, he will heal our land. What is your healing? What will you take from this? What will you take from losses? It's okay if someone in your family passes and you feel it. But what if somebody you don't know loses someone? Can you feel that same hurt? Can you feel their pain as you feel your own pain? There's a lot of things he wants us to learn from this. So if the virus is doing damage, think of that mustard seed and go on that faith.
That was awesome. Eloquently put. I love that.
No, thank you.
I love that. You're so deep.
I ain't deep.
Hey, Beachy. She says definitely words to live by.
Hey,
too.
Beachy.
It definitely is. We are so caught up in the, I don't want to say the suffering, but we're so caught up in the toxics in our life that we literally are caught up in it, where we get stagnant and it's pulling us and it's pulling us and it's stopping us from making progress. I don't even know how to come back from that. But yeah, you are right about that.
Yeah. Forgive your younger self. Believe in your current self. Create your future self. This is my journal, everybody. Forgive your younger self. Believe in your current self. And create your future self. Let that sink in.
Forgiveness takes a minute.
It takes a minute.
Sometimes I lay in bed like, man, woulda, coulda, but I'm thinking.
If I woulda, shoulda,
but then I read somewhere where you reverse that. What if you didn't make that mistake? Would you be the person that you are today? Like I always used to hinge upon when I did go to school. Remember, I got kicked out of my first university for not studying, and it was like, well, that taught me the importance of persevering and consistency, and it strengthened my faith. Right. Because it did take me to newer heights when I did, go back to school. Right. And then I think of that, man, I probably should have went to class and did what I was supposed to do. But then I think about it. But if everything was always easy for me, then I wouldn't understand. You wouldn't learn God. I wouldn't learn anything if everything just came easy for me.
That's where the power of prayer come in. Yeah. But first you got to know that you need, that you need to pray. Yeah. Some people think they're doing this thing all on their own. No, you got to pray. You got to pray your way. You got to pray your way.
Because when I went back, what did I do? I studied. I graduated like I didn't play that time. Right. And I still, and when I quit regretting them years, I thought about all the friendships I gained in college. I thought about all the fun, all the lessons that I learned. So really, I still wouldn't take nothing back when I think of that. Right. Like when I just not focusing on getting kicked out and focused on other things that happened during that time, it made me grateful, for that time period.
That leads
and it helped me forgive. Why is he talking about a vacuum? You're here for no, we don't have any vacuums for sale.
That leads us to our next what you said, God wants full custody, not just weekend visits. He wants full custody. He don't just want us to pop our head in and out. I'm here for the weekend. Okay, he wants full custody. That means full custody. That means totally leaning and depending on him. Not just when it's convenient for us, because we got convenient prayers. We got little convenient prayers that we do. He doesn't want that. He wants full custody. Yeah, he don't want just the weekend visits. And like Renita was saying, it's all. It's all.
And you got one more quote for us?
One more quote. I believe in God not because my parents told me, not because the church told me, but because I've experienced His goodness and mercy myself.
Amen.
It's personal.
It is.
It's personal. I was raised in the church. I've been in my current church for 20 years. Uh, but it's a personal experience. It's personal. What God takes you through and what He brings you through is personal, and you're supposed to build on those experiences and those fears and those loss and those gains. You're supposed to build on that, not look at, oh, woe is me. You know, if you're gonna get in the woe of me moment, like I said in my earlier quote, come on, baby, pray your way on out, because it's gonna be all right. But you gotta keep Him first in your life, and to that own self be true. You got to look at your good, your bad, and your ugly. Don't think they don't exist. We ain't just all good. We have parts to us.
So Morgan says, "Can you give an example?" Oh wow, of what we didn't
Get
talked about? An example of what?
a example of what?
I think we changed the subject. Let us know what's an example
Yeah,
of, and we'll give you an example. Sorry, Morgan.
right.
Kristen says, "Don't be fearful,"
Yes,
and she says, "Yes, it is. Everything is going to be all right."
yes, it is. Yes, it is, Chris.
And it always is all right. It don't feel all right when you're going through it. Oh,
Right.
Morgan says, "Can you give her an example of feeling God?"
It's just that, Morgan, is it?
Yep.
It's just that, Morgan. It's a feeling that when you're in a place and you don't know which way to go or you don't know what to do, that's when you stay still and you can feel God comforting you and you can feel Him leading and guiding you. But you got to listen and stay still for Him to do it. See, I'm a runner and I'm noisy. But until, and I'm still in the process of learning how to quiet myself. When you quiet yourself, you can feel and you can listen to what He's saying for you to do. A person like me that's kind of like hyper and all over the place, it's like it takes a little discipline in prayer to get that. But you can actually feel Him and know. Have you ever had, Morgan, something in your life that you don't know how it came to the outcome that it had come to, and you like, wow, I was here, but now I'm here? That was God. That was the feeling of God ministering in your life. That was Him taking you from that dark place into the light place. And that's how I could best. It is. It's a feeling. You just know deep down inside that no human could possibly bring you out of this. No human could possibly love you out of this. It had to be something beyond that you could see. It's a feeling. So you answered your own question. It's a feeling.
And I feel like when my life is in chaos and all of a sudden just this lightness and peace come over me, I feel
Yes.
like that's a feeling of
God.
God. Like everything is just crumbling and all of a
Yes.
sudden it's just I just get, I don't know, I get a little chilly and I
Yeah,
start
it's just
tingling
it's
and
hard to explain.
yeah, and that's how I know that God is near. He hears me and I'm not alone.
Because we're all God's children. We're all God's children. That's what He's showing us now. It's not going to church or being in that. He's showing us that He can do it in your house, staying at home. He's with you, not just in a building, but He's with you wherever you go, in the building, at work, driving in your car, in your house, working from home, wherever you are. There He is also with you. He's not limited. He's not in a box. So that's another thing this is teaching us. Don't limit God, because He can touch us and heal us and forgive us and love us and all of that wherever we are and whatever state of mind we in. If we open up ourselves to let Him in to get that feeling. That's the best I can explain it.
Beachy said, oops, wrong button. I think my husband is selling a vacuum. But Beachy said, is it like a gut feeling to you where you just know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beachy, our conversations. Yeah, it's just like a gut feeling that you know that this is God and you don't question it. A lot of times, we question, is this God? Is this me? But when you get that real gut feeling, then you know that it's God. You know that, because ain't nobody told nobody else nothing about this that's going on. It ain't like I say, hey, BG, so. It's you and God. Because he talks to all of us, but we have to listen. We have to be in a place where we can hear and adhere to what he's telling us. So yeah, it's a gut feeling.
Does that answer your question,
Morgan? Is that cool,
Morgan?
Morgan Beachy? I mean, y'all get deep on me.
It is pretty, because it's an individual thing, and that's why a relationship with God is so important, because it's individual. Because it may be, my feeling may be different from yours.
Yeah, my feeling.
His voice may be loud to you, and it may be soft for me. God meets us at our level, and he knows how to get our attention. So it's an individual thing, because we're all individuals.
And we're all spiritual beings.
Right. I know some people that just start writing and God will start giving them instructions when they're writing. Mm-hmm. I know some people that dream dreams and God will speak to them through their dreams. So it just all depends on you.
Right. It's individual.
Yeah.
My feeling is not your feeling. Your feeling is not my feeling. Nita's feeling is not my feeling.
She said thank you.
You're welcome,
all
Morgan.
Right, Morgan. Morgan got deep on us today.
You got deep on Morgan. BG, you cool?
Okay, do you have anything else? We are reaching our time.
We're reaching our time. Does anybody else have anything they want to share with us?
Or do you have anything else to share? Or
now let me find this. Never underestimate the power of prayer. One small prayer can change your life forever.
And it has. And just to tell a little quick story, Morgan, BG said she got it. Auntie BG said, yep. Okay.
That's my baby.
Just a quick story, just picking back on that college thing. So my GPA was really horrible at UIC. I'm not gonna lie, I partied. So my GPA had to be like a 1 point something, if even that, right?
Right.
So I moved to Champaign with my friends, because I was like, okay, I'll go to a community college out there and build my GPA, and then I'll just go to the sister school, which is U of I, Champaign-Urbana. So me and my best friend went to the counselor at U of I, and the lady looked at my grades and she was like, even if you get straight A's in this community college, there is no way that we are going to accept you, or any college in the United States is going to accept you with this poor academic. Because I was great in high school, like 3.8, 4 point, like I was really good in high school, and then I just partied a lot in college. So I was really discouraged.
I just partied.
And my friend Asha, she was like, you know what? Don't listen to them. God always has the final say so. So it broke my spirits. Maybe 2 or 3 years later, my friend Heather was like, you need to get over fear, and you need to go back to school or whatever. And I'm like, I don't have the money. I owe UIC, and U of I told me that it was just impossible. And she was like, I think you should do it. So I went to God in prayer about it. And it may be a small prayer to everyone else, but it was huge for me. Lord, give me a second chance, and I promise I'll do what I'm supposed to do this second time around. So first blessing, first miracle, I was just having a random conversation with my Uncle Bubba, and he was like, well, how much do you owe UIC? And he was like, oh, that's nothing. And he paid that for me. So now that's eliminating an excuse, because sometimes we pray for things and we lean on those excuses not to move forward.
Right.
So the second thing is when they were like, well, hey, you can't get it, you can't pay for it. No, you can't get in. So I went to DePaul University. I applied to that. Now, mind you, that is a very prestigious school. And just to backtrack, I went to Parkland and just I was just acing classes when I went to the community college. So going back forward, so I go to DePaul, I set an appointment. And now, mind you, I have no faith in this at all. No faith in this at all. I'm just doing it to tell somebody I tried, So I went to the counselor and I told her, hey, I messed up at UIC, but I've been taking these classes or whatever. And the counselor said to me, I'll see what I can do. So, I'm like, whatever. She's just being nice to me or whatever. So maybe 3 weeks later, I get a letter in the mail. I kid you not.
I'm a witness.
I got a letter in the mail. I'm sorry, from DePaul University telling me, congratulations, you are enrolled on Great Academic on a 3.7 GPA. I do not know to this day.
I'm a witness.
If the lady just eliminated all of my bad classes at UIC and replaced it with the community college courses, I don't know what she did, but I still get chills thinking about that because I know for sure that I shouldn't have gotten in there.
And that was a small prayer.
And it was just coming from a small prayer. And to make it even more like a miracle, I wanted to buy flowers and send her cards. And I knew her in a card and I knew her name. I called the directory. I called the same department. I went up there and nobody ever heard of this lady.
It was an angel.
No one ever even heard of this lady. Okay, so now I'm accepted to DePaul, and now I need the money to pay for tuition. That is an expensive school. So I was scared. I went to my grandma, and I asked her, I said, Grandma, I really need you to co-sign for my loans. And I just knew, this was a big ask, And she said, all I need you to do is to promise me you're going to graduate, which I did. I made my promise, and my grandma signed. She signed it with no hesitation. So those were 3 small prayers. 3 small prayers, Lord. I need my UIC I can't even get it out. My UIC tuition paid. I need someone to accept me, and I need to pay for it. And 3 small prayers changed my whole life. And this was something that I wasn't even standing on faith.
No, she wasn't.
It was just, there was a heart desire that God made possible for me.
And now she has 2 masters and going to be working on her PhD.
And so it's just like we said, it's individual. It's a feeling. Even when you don't believe in you, God does.
Yes.
Even when those chances where you don't believe in you, God does. And there's a saying, because I just felt like I just ruined all my opportunities. And I saw a quote that I live by today where it says, you cannot out-sin God's forgiveness.
Yeah. No. Oh, I like that.
You
Can you say that to me?
Yes, you cannot out-sin God's forgiveness.
I got that last
you
one.
Always can get a second chance. But here's the caveat: when you get that second chance, do it right.
Don't abuse
Keep
it.
your promise. Keep your promise, and that's what I mean by a personal relationship. And anytime that I feel low or anytime I'm in a crazy situation, I go back to that. That's like an anchor story for me. I go back to that because if he did it for me then, he'll do it for me now.
Exactly.
And that's when that feeling of peace that I told you about come over me, like he got me.
Right.
So that's just an example. I thought about that. Thank you, Morgan.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm on my last one. Life isn't about finding yourself. It's about discovering who God created you to be.
Which is great. God don't make junk, right?
God don't make junk.
What is it? We are perfect. I never could quote stuff. We are perfectly and wonderfully made.
That sounds right.
Okay. No, beautifully and wonderfully made.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh,
so
wow.
when he made you, he made greatness.
Yes.
He made greatness. Everything that we need to do, what we have to do, is inside of us. God has already equipped us with what we need.
Yes.
How we know we're making a mistake is we're going outside ourselves to get it done. Anytime you're trying to plug into someone for validation, plug into someone for confidence. Yes, God place people in your life to help you get to plateaus, but God is your source. He provides it. So it's still in you. Sometimes people see the God in you and see your potential in you. I'm like, hey, that's why you be careful how you entertain a stranger, because it may be an angel from God. Be careful how you entertain a stranger.
Yes.
So okay. BG said, all right. So it's inside of you because someone sees a light in you. So you got anything to add to that?
I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers that are in heaven. just happy Mother's Day, ladies. Enjoy your mothers. Those of us whose mothers have gone on home to be with the Lord, let us enjoy the memories of our mothers, and let those memories, always be forever in our hearts. And I'm going to have a good Mother's Day enjoying it with my children.
I would just like to thank Mommy for this live, because it wasn't going to happen without her. I think that it's awesome that she's on this live, considering Mother's Day is Sunday. So this is a moment that I'm in that I'm cherishing.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad I'm in Chicago for you to be a part of this.
I'm glad you're here too.
So thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. You got some wisdom too there, girl.
Morgan says happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And Kristen says great live, ladies. Thank you so much.
Chris.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Be encouraged, stay encouraged.
Yes.
And just have a great weekend, in this COVID-19.
Yeah.
Order you some Longhorn. Get you some Outback.
Yeah.
Go to like the big steakhouses downtown.
Yeah, and eat in the car or something. I mean, it's all, we got to learn how to be creative in this little new thing. We, you know what I'm saying? We got to be
go to Roof Chris if you feel fancy.
And have them bring it out to you. Go eat in the car or whatever. Just be creative, and don't let this get the best of us. Just know that God is in control, and this too shall pass.
Yes, and until next time, you all be your own kind.
Be blessed.
Your own kind.
Bye. Be blessed. Bye-bye.